Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Euro Truck Simulator 2. So I have a confession to make. In the last episode, I finished and we were right up here in Olbia, if you recall, outside of Olbia. Whoops, didn't want to click there. What am I doing? Get rid of these things. And I did another episode going from Olbia over here to Sassari to qualify for the Sardinia achievement, which I'll put up on the map here. And then I upgraded the truck a little bit, and it was a really cool episode, except I never pressed the record button. So that one is gone, never to be chronicled for us. So we'll pick up in Sassari with just a little bit of a recap of the last episode, which basically was we got the 3 cities in Sardinia to get that achievement, and then I upgraded the truck as well because there was a Mercedes-Benz dealership over there, so we took our Volvo into the Mercedes-Benz dealership. Apparently they'll work on it there. That's something. We upgraded to a 540 horsepower engine, and then I changed the gearbox out to give a little bit better performance as well. I think we ended up spending about 25,000 of our 50,000 euros, so we're back down to 30,000 euros, but we have a much more powerful truck, which I'm pretty excited about. I think maybe the next episode too, we're going to get some paint on this thing and start to spiff it out a little bit because it's there. And then I did want to show a little bit about our drivers too, because we have 2 drivers working for us. Cataline is getting it done. Her rating is 2.5. She's making 3,500 euros a week. She's up to level 7. And let's actually now switch her over to ADR so she gets some of these top 3 here, because the bottom 3 are kind of zoned out on that. We'll get her halfway on each of those 3 and then maybe finish her off on distance. But she's doing really well. Miroslav, on the other hand, is still 0.8. He's making 487 euros a day now. That's actually up a little bit from the last time I checked, so he must have just made a delivery somewhere. So good for Miroslav, he's getting started, and our empire continues slowly but surely to grow. So in this episode, I thought we'd do something a little bit different, which is going to call kind of a landmark tour. So the game has got these kind of random landmarks scattered all over the place, and you drive by them, you have no idea what they are, right? It's just like a landmark, and some of them are famous enough so you probably know a little bit about them, but others are just there, and you're like, what story lies behind this landmark? So we're going to do one today that comes from Palermo. It's the Palermo Institute Nautico. It's one of 2 landmarks that are in the game, and here's a picture of it right now. And so we're going to drive here in Palermo, and then on the way I'm going to kind of share a little bit about what I've been able to learn about this place, because it's kind of a little bit of a mystery. So let's get started here. We have a job on the freight market. Doesn't pay a ton, but if we start here from where we are in Sassari, it's one of the cheaper jobs here. Used plastics, 7 tons, a nice light load. We're going to go down to Cagliari and then cut across on the ferry to Palermo, drop that off, then we're going to go find this. But on the way, I'm going to share a little bit about what I've been able to find out about this Technical Nautical Institute. So let's get this as our GPS destination, and we just took a little bit of a nap. Where do we have to go? Get out of this. Should have enough gas. 6 minutes away. So I'm going to go over there. We'll get started on this. And then once we get our truck hooked up, we'll pick up with our ride for the day. Let's go out to the right here. Looks like we got good weather and a good opportunity to make this drive. So see you shortly. Alrighty. So we have our used plastics here all packed up and ready to go. We kind of matched the trailer nicely with this one. So let's get this underway here. We're going to get our truck here out on the road, I think. Okay. There we go. Got everything picked up? Yeah. Trailer's moving too. Good. And off we go. We will touch base as we get out onto the highway here. I am really liking the horsepower in this new engine, or the upgraded engine. It's 540 horsepower. We've only got a 7-ton load, so it's pretty easy to pull this now, but we can just whip this thing around. We can get up to 80 kilometers per hour in no time at all. So big performance upgrade here with the things that we've done to the truck in the past couple days. So anyway, we're about an hour into the drive now. We're making our way making our way to the southern tip of Sardinia to take the ferry across to Palermo. I think most of the drive is going to be that ferry. So I thought we'd take a moment now and talk about my initial exploration into what I found out about the Palermo Nautical Institute. So it all started out with, I said, what would be a cool landmark to check in Sicily? And I found these two in Palermo. One is this the Institute Nautico. And I thought, well, let's just check this one out and start. So like any normal person, you kind of Google it. And Google Maps took me here to this neat courtyard, which looks really cool. But I knew the building is behind it here. So I just panned around and I said, ooh, this is looking a little rough here. Oh my, wow. And I thought, wow, it looks like the Technical Institute's fallen on hard times here. I mean, there's a lot of graffiti. It looks like a lot of homeless people have taken up residence. These panels are all kind of bent up and busted. Gosh, it must be closed. And so then I said, well, maybe just check to make sure it's the right place here. So I kind of went around here and up, sure enough, there's the facade of it. The facade, which got the old, must be the original building or something like that. And I thought, what happens if you come around? There's some graffiti and stuff like that there. But, you know, yeah, I wonder, maybe the building is kind of no longer used, or it's taken up completely different function, and maybe it's all closed down. If you go all the way, you see this little picture here too. That looks kind of kept up to date here. Don't know who those people are. You come over here and then come back, and I thought, wow, it looks like the Institute here has seen better days. And then I said, well, let's check and see if there's a website. So I Googled the website and I found this. And I said, wow, this looks like a website that's from the year 2000. This looks so old. And sure enough, if you look on the left-hand side, it is from the 23rd of March, 2000. So it's 20 years old. And it's an assembly of 50 senior boys. School information, 80 teachers, over 700 students aged 13 to 24 years. All but 10 of the students are boys and young men. Technical Nautico Institute was founded in 1789 by these guys, Gioeni-Trabia. They wanted Sicily to have a boarding school to prepare the sons of mariners for their father's professions. And students take courses in the nautical sciences and technology and prepare them for careers in maritime industries. And I thought, oh, wow, that's too bad. So sometime in the past 20 years, this place must have closed down. And I thought, that's a bummer. And so with that a note, that was my first foray in there. But we learned a little bit more, which we'll continue on. But let's do a little bit more of our driving first. So let's come back in here and pick up where we left off. And we will get ourselves closer to Palermo. And then we'll learn more about the Technical Nautical Institute. So we'll jump back in here now and continue our game. And we'll continue driving around. And we'll check back in now as we get closer to the final destination, to our ferry ride here. So we are back to the ferry here, and whoops, almost ripped our side of the truck off, but we did not. Doing okay. We're going to pull onto the ferry here, and then let's find out a little bit more. We'll talk a little bit more about what I was able to find out about the Nautical Institute there once we get the truck parked here and as we head off to Palermo. This will be a new city for us, by the way, too. Enter. Let's go to Palermo. Embark. We're not going to make that much. It costs 5,000. It costs what, 700 and something to get the stuff there. So we are in Palermo right now. But before we continue on with our delivery, let's talk for just a moment, because I was able to find out a few more things about the Institute. The story gets more interesting. So when I was at this point, I figured, we saw the front of the building and saw the website that was 20 years old. I figured this was just gone. There's no way it was still there. Then just kind of randomly, though, I moved forward and I looked from right about here. And then I looked and I noticed that door is open. And it's fine. The glass and everything is fine inside. So maybe this building is still functional. And maybe the Technical Institute isn't this thing that started in 1789 and vanished sometime in the last 20 years, sadly. And so I Googled a little bit more, and I found their real webpage. IISS Gioeni-Trabia, Palermo, the Technical Institute for Transport and Logistics. And here it is. Sure enough, it was founded in 1789 by these two guys, Monsignor Gioeni and the Don Pietro Lanza of Trabia. And it talks about basically all the different studies that they've done and they've got for it. And it's still going here, because if you look at their homepage, let's go there. 2019, 2022, 22 school term. It's got all kinds of up-to-date information. I mean, it's not the most scintillating website, but it's there, you know? And so I thought, oh, that's cool. It hasn't gone out of business. And then I found their Facebook page, and here's their Facebook page, which if you look at, it's got the pictures of the two guys. Those might be Gioeni-Trabia, but they look like they have suits that aren't 200 years old. So I'm a little confused by that. But anyway, but there's a boat, you know, and pictures, and it says, you know, it's been visited by over 6,200 people have checked in here, which is pretty cool. And then look at this, you get here. Here's a post from Giuseppe Castelli, who says, the end. Today, it's about a month old, from June. Today I close a chapter of my life. Needless to say, I won't miss you. Because I will miss you. But it's time for me to enter the adult world too. And there's a picture of the school that he goes to. And it's like cool, and 39 people liked it. And it's there again, I don't know why. And then here is Aurora Barale, who wrote this thing. It says, I've come to the end of this experience, and I want to remember this, full of tears and hugs and emotions. So here's another student that spent 5 years of her life in this institute, that's been teaching people about maritime industry careers for over 230 years. And so I thought that's pretty cool. And then lastly, I was poking about a little bit more, and I found this film that the students made there in May, just about 2 months ago. It's called Stop Single-Use Plastic, and it's on YouTube. And if I won't show you the whole thing because it's like 10 minutes long, but they did this drone stuff overhead of the whole school and everything like that. And then it's this cool little story told all in pictures about this kid who drinks water and throws away the disposable plastic bottle. And then what happens to the bottle, how it gets kicked down the stairs and into the elevator and then outside. And here's the students leaving the front of the building that we see in the Google Maps. It's the same place for sure, right? And the bottle gets by the side of the street, and then a dog plays fetch with it, and then it ends up in a soccer match, and then it ends up in the ocean. And then it comes back and it rewinds the time, and he goes and he drinks the water again. But this time, instead of drinking it out of a plastic bottle, he uses a non-disposable water bottle, and he saves a bottle going into the ocean. So there you have it, this 230-year-old institute that was founded in 1789 is still teaching students about it, and they're making videos about saving the planet. So what a cool thing. And, you know, it all started from, so it's right here. So we got to go find this now. Now that we're in Palermo, we got to go find it. And by the way, I would encourage you, if you have a moment, you can't put comments on their video, but at least go give it a thumbs up, right? Because that's pretty cool. So I went and gave it, they've got 7 thumbs up. It's only got 127 views. I'll put a link in it down below. So let's go support truckers support single-use, truckers support stopping single-use plastic. Whew, that's a mouthful. So, but anyway, let's jump back into the game now. Let's finish the ride and let's go find the landmark. All right, so we're back in the truck here. Let's get. They don't give you much room on these barges. Sometime I'll have to tell you the story about how I almost got my head cut off on a barge. But anyway, that's not for tonight. But let's go deliver this somewhere here, and then I want to go find the landmark, unless it's near us here now. It's got to be around. Whoops. 速度制限に注意してください. I know. She has to remind me a lot now about don't speed, because I do have a lot of energy and power with this truck right now. So let's go around here. I don't know where the landmarks are, or how you find them, or how you get close to them and stuff like this. This is kind of figuring this out as we go along. Whoa, a little bit too wide there. So this is Palermo. That's the light. I don't see it yet. It should be down by the water, which maybe is right around this corner, judging by the maps and stuff like that here. But we'll figure it out. First, I want to make the delivery. Then we'll probably come back to it and stop, unless we drive by it right on the way. Found it. We drove right by it. So there it is. It's the building back there. And this is the other gate, the other landmark in the town here too. So right behind us, the thing that's all lit up is our Nautical Institute. So there it is. How cool is that? We found it, and there's the story. So if you do come to Palermo and you drive by this, now you know the story of the Nautical Institute. Let's go finish our delivery. We're only about 6 minutes away. So it's pretty cool. This looks like a really neatly developed town. In the game here. It's pretty cool. Oop, don't want to get a ticket. We're not making much money on this trip. We are almost there. We're almost there too, and we're going to pass a question mark, which my guess is probably a recruiting agency, maybe? It should be cool. So we are at our final destination here. I think we just have to pull into this cargo truss place. It's kind of ironic, I think, that we're dropping off used plastic when that video was about single-use plastic. It's kind of cool, huh? So let's... All right. don't want to rip the side off there. Sometimes these turns are kind of tight here. 40 XP, let's get it. Oh, we got to back it straight in, huh? All right, so how long it's going to take to get this one? This one looks relatively straightforward. I'll start timing myself a little bit here when we get up here. This actually isn't that easy for 40. Not easy at all. So I watched a video on TV and it says get your wheels of the chassis right in line with it, then turn it as hard as you can, and that will get you lined up perfectly. Didn't work at all. That was stupid. So we'll see how long it takes to do this one. That was way harder than a lot of the 90s. Just didn't have enough room to navigate and pull in front of it. So that's cool. I actually went around the building to try to get a better angle at it. So there you go. But we are, whoopsie, sorry about the head spinning. We are in place now. 232 kilometers, just a short trip in terms of money, 5,000 euros, and just a smidgen of experience to move us forward. But that really wasn't the goal of this one. I wanted to try out one of those landmark tours there. So let me know what you thought of, what you think about it. Was it interesting? Anything else you'd like to see? Do more of those? Was it pretty cool? I thought it was just kind of cool to take a little bit of a random tour and look at someplace like that. And then when I first thought the place was closed, I only found out that for 230 years students have been learning about the sea there. I thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, thanks for checking out the episode. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you again as we go forward in our next episode. I think we're going to head down to checking out a few more towns in Sicily and try to finish up that Italian Imperator achievement. We'll revisit all the Italian cities. Take care, have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode.